It's difficult to come up after this introduction of Linda, but as you can see, very sexy. So real pleasure being here. Thank you, Linda, for the invite and for everyone who's made this happen, because it's great to be in the Algarve when we're talking tech and lifestyle. Because lifestyle, just look outside. Easy. And tech, I start feeling there's an evolution. There's more people coming in, more people talking, and these kinds of events are so important. So well done. I can see you wondering about my accent. Yes, it's not from the Algarve. It's from South Africa, so South African, okay. Born there. My dad was born in Portimão, okay. So started eating sardines early, okay. Then my mother was born in Mozambique. I was born in South Africa. My two boys were born in Angola, and my daughter was born in Portugal. So as you can see, it's a small world, okay. You just need to do something and someone gets born. Okay, so today I'm speaking about education, and the truth is, it's hard. I don't want to tell you this is going to be easy, and if you're going into an ed tech or anything to do with education is going to be easy. It's hard. Elon Musk says it's easier to land a man on Mars than to change school. And, I thought he was lying, so I went into it, but it really is hard. But you know what? It's vital. It's probably more important doing it than landing a man on Mars. Okay, so I normally say we have to start thinking in a positive way. We have to start thinking that little changes will make big impact. It won't be one solution that will solve everything. We're going to need a lot of people plugging into this ecosystem to make this change, to make it happen. Okay, and my first video is a little bit about how you're going to have to think if you want to get into education. Because there's lots of norms and lots of things you're allowed to do. But the reality is, if you keep doing what's normal and what they allow you to do, there will be no change. We'll just keep making this hole bigger and bigger. So the most important thing is to, when you want to fill in a hole, the first thing to do is stop digging. But we're still digging. We're still digging and making this hole bigger and bigger. So the first very thing we have to do is think different. We have to change our mindset. And this video, I'm going to play it twice because you're going to miss what I'm trying to tell you the first time. But watch it carefully, okay? And then I'll tell you a little bit about it. Okay, press play.
Never mind the brew that was running away from the dog, man.
Okay.
The star of this video is the brew who said, fuck it, I'm playing dead, bro.
Okay.
That's the star of this video. The brew that just gave up and said, bruh, it can't kill what's already dead, bro.
All right, so watch it again, okay? And watch the guy that's not running, okay? And what everyone would do is start running as well, or, shouting or doing something, but not him. He decided that he's going to do something different, and if he acts dead, a dog doesn't kill what's already dead. Okay, so watch him now. He's over there. You'll see him just on the top there. Watch what he does. There he is. He's dead. Okay, so he's dead. That's it. One more time there. Who would think like that? Who would think like that, Who would think like that? That not even AI will tell you, just lie dead, Nothing. So we need the human side. We need to think differently if we want different results. And as you can see, the education ministry ran right past him and left him alone. Okay. O Ministério da Educação. Okay. One of our hunting dogs. Okay. All right. Then on this one, we're also going to have to think that little businesses, little ideas, little people can actually fight this big stigma, this dogma that's out there, and this thing called the educational system, which we've told every learner that's the way to success, is suffering for 12 years, write one exam, and then, that will determine your future. All right, so over here you're going to see a video that shows you our mentality, okay?
Esse vídeo aqui é o mais inacreditável que você vai ver hoje, cara. Tá vendo esse cachorrinho caramelo aí? Presta atenção, quem vai tentar pegar ele, ó. Do nada. Do nada, mano. Do céu, uma onça. E, rapaz, o negócio começa a demorar, os caras vão lá ver, mano. O caramelo.
So he turns it around. Now he's attacking the leopard. And the leopard is trying to get away because he's got him by the nose and runs away. And this is the mentality we need, that we can fight these leopards. We can fight these threats. And sometimes we will get them by the nose until they leave us alone. Okay, and by doing that, it's by success. We need little successes. We need more people getting success because that's the way we change mentalities. So we need a whole ecosystem coming in. And this ecosystem starts with the parents. Okay, the parents are part of education. I think you forget sometimes. Many parents think, I'll put my kid in a school and they'll teach him. But it doesn't. It starts with parents. And it's been something that I've always really taken pride in doing, and it's been one of my most important things, is that I've always taken my children with me to meetings, traveling as many times as I could. We took them on trips. We gave them experiences. I passed them, my thoughts, my ideas. And I think, that's so important that parents start doing that. So if you're a parent, it's your responsibility as well. You need to get in there. You need to actually put them as part of your life. Don't put them away. Don't say they're too young, or I'll be a good parent when they're teenagers. It's every day. You've got to be a good parent. The way you're an example to them, because they're watching you. You can tell them 100 times, don't do that. But if you're doing it, if you're on your phone at dinner time, hey, it doesn't help. So parents, then grandparents. If you're lucky enough to have grandparents around you, let your kids spend time with them. Let them listen to their stories. Let them listen to their values and ethics. They are patient. They talk to them. They give them education in a different way. And we used to have this. I don't know if you know, but for me, my mentor was my granddad. My behavior mentor was my grandmother and her spoon. And it was good. So don't be scared. Put them back in their lives. We need that. Thirdly, community. We need community. We can't live well just in our little bubbles. So get out there. Don't be scared. Don't do that. Don't walk there. Don't let them be part of community, especially out here. There's actually, I think, 2 types of people in the world nowadays. There's Algarvios and Algarvias, the Algarvian people, and everybody else wants to be Algarvio and Algarvia after seeing this weather and waking up and having breakfast in this. So, guys, use the community. It's a privilege. You learn. In 4,000 years ago, we were doing that with Socrates and all that, where the community was teaching. It wasn't school that had that responsibility. And then, obviously, you got school, and that's where we fall in, where we've started something called Brave Generation Academy, where we've done a few small things, small changes that make a lot of impact. So what we decided to do early on is that we're not going to work on the child. We're not going to try and change the child. We're going to try and change the system. And if we change the system, normally the child is better off. Okay, so we decided that we would have these hubs. It started with my 2 kids as the guinea pigs, my 2 sons. And then about 4 months later, my daughter joined because I was a bit worried. If it didn't work, I didn't want to damage her. I could risk my boys, but not my daughter. So good news is it worked, and they were fine. And she's still in BGA. They are out, and they're actually abroad now studying. But, it started in focusing on the learner. What do they really want? And what should they really be given? So we decided they needed to learn about responsibility and accountability. They needed to be with different ages. They needed to be able to help each other in peer-to-peer. They needed to be able to have flexibility in how they move along in their journey. If you're super good at maths, you can go fast. If you struggle a bit, go a little bit slower. But you've got to master the subject. You can't just be left behind and then hope that everything's going to work. We started looking at how do we plug them into community. Best ways, we don't have anything, but community's got everything. So if they need tennis, they go to tennis in the community. They need golf, it's golf. They need football, it's football. They need culture, music, dance, they're going to the community. And also a link that they can actually hop, go try new experiences, stay with different people, and have these experiences. So we started by opening our very first hub after I had 19 kids join us when we weren't, let's say, a school. But, parents kept saying, take this kid. It's not working for him. Let him stay with you, Tim. And when we looked again, we had a few of these kids, and we said, we better do something. So I opened the very first hub with a thatched hub inside Ginshu, on the dunas, in a place that had tennis and horses and everything there. So I only built 67 square meters, but I had the school that had pools, horses, tennis courts, everything was there. So obviously it got full. You know, more people wanted it because the way we were studying, we made the British International curriculum first, but on a platform. So every learner could do 25 minutes where they would go at their own pace. They would read, watch videos, and then they had a quiz. They get 80%, they move to their next lesson, but they would start to understand their timeline, and they could go as fast as they wanted. And the great thing about this is that they could actually write exams 3 times a year, instead of a traditional school once a year, where everyone goes at the same pace, so they can only write once. With us, you can do different subjects and write whenever you're ready for it. Or, even if you fail, you can just rewrite. So it takes away a lot of anxiety. We also split the teacher in 2. So we got a learning coach that's there to inspire and motivate. They don't prepare lessons, they don't grade, they're just there to be with the learners and move them along. And then we've got the course manager that's in the background that any learner can book on their office hours, time with them to learn if they're stuck with something. The reality is a lot of these learners get help from each other and actually keep going along on the platform without ever going to the course managers constantly. And that's also quite amazing to understand that people can help each other. Imagine that. Imagine in classroom when your friend wants to help you and the teacher tells you, keep quiet, let him struggle, let him do it by himself. In the real world, in startups, if you had to do that, there would be no unicorns. There would be nothing, because that's not how it works. We need each other. We need to work with each other. So that's what we did. From that very first little hub, we got to start growing. And that first hub opened a second hub, a third hub. Today we have 60 hubs in 10 countries. We've got some amazing projects with Afghan girls, where we've got 28 Afghan girls. We put them into universities in Indonesia, Vancouver, where they've been just, running with our platforms and learning with us, and then, having opportunities in underground schools, mostly on WhatsApp, believe it or not, which is crazy. We've then had, during this Gaza-Israeli conflict, our kids in Gaza carried on. They carried on doing school. They wrote their IGCSEs, they wrote their A-levels, they kept going. Again, their dreams weren't shattered because of technology, because of what we can do with that. We've got a hub with 30 kids that's now going to grow to 330 kids in Kakuma refugee camp, where again from there we've given scholarships out to incredible kids, incredible at maths, and that you would never have found if we weren't there. And then obviously our hubs around the world, about 35% of our kids are on scholarships. Again, as you can see, it looks more like a co-working, it looks more like a startup than it does as a school. But again, it makes sense to learners. Different ages, no bullying, no competition, more cooperation. So that's what we started doing there. And, we've had some amazing results. If you look at it academically, we've had 2 best in the world out of 5.4 million learners. We've had, 4 best in Europe, best in South Africa, best in Portugal. But that's not really what we strive for. We strive for, having learners achieve the best in them. So from the British curriculum, we launched the US curriculum. So we got the US curriculum, which is more electives. It's more project-based. And we launched the Portuguese curriculum, and we launched the UP curriculum, which at 16 you can start your university. So if you're going to do business, computer science, sports, or hotel and hospitality management, you can start your degree at 16, do your first year, your exit certificate from school, your level 3, then a level 4, level 5, and then you go to university only for the last year. And that's a game changer, because learners can start earlier, finish earlier, get their lives going, go do their masters wherever they want, or start working. Next year we launch engineering and psychology as well. And again, we believe that that's what's going to start happening to education. We're going to start bringing tertiary into secondary, because we're just wasting a lot of time, and we don't need to. We also believe that there's going to be more professional studies in secondary, and it won't be looked down upon, but it will actually be looked up upon. We also believe that we're going to start making curriculums that are based with companies. So we're working with 2 companies now where we're looking at a final year curriculum that if you do their curriculum while you're doing your final curriculum, you actually can get guaranteed job offer at the end and do at least a year or more with them. So again, those are the benefits that we're able to do with technology. For us, like, this isn't our big plan. Our big plan isn't to keep opening hubs. And today we're opening our hubs in schools. We call it a BJ in a school, powered by BJ. And we've now got schools like DHS in Durban, which used to be Fernand Pessoa School when he was in South Africa. We've got Westville's, we've got Wellington, we've got Bern International School, Ipswich, Malvern College in the UK. We've got all these schools where we've been putting in BJ into them. But our big idea, and this is where I say we need a lot of ideas and solutions coming, is we actually want to get into the public. We want the public school system to benefit. I went to public school. I think we all have the rights to have good education, relevant education for today's world. So our idea now is we've got our first camera that's come on board, Awaidish, and we've got Kashkai will be our second camera coming on board, where we actually go into the public schools and we're offering them our platform, so they get our Portuguese platform. Their teachers don't have to prepare lessons and don't have to grade. So the teacher now has a maths class, everyone is sitting in their maths class, they open the platform, and you go at your own pace, doing your own maths, and they are there to support you. If someone gets stuck, they help you. If you need extra, if you're not getting stuck and you're working well, keep working. And all of a sudden, you are engaged. You are able to understand what you're learning at your pace instead of being pushed along and being lost. Also, what it helps is obviously with the shortages of teachers, etc. You can have, if you don't have enough teachers for 2 grades, you can mix the grades and they can, help all those kids. Also, more subjects. You can have more subjects because, again, the platform's got all the subjects. The teachers can also contribute to the platform. They can add extra content. They can be part of it. The grading gets done automatically so that they don't have to waste their time with bureaucracies and reporting and all these things. The reporting is done automatic. And as parents, you get the work tools. You get an app which tells you what your son or daughter did every day. So you don't have to ask them, what did you do at school today? Nothing. The same. All those answers that are so informative. You can now actually look at it, not as a policeman, but just to see they are doing something, hopefully. Okay. The teacher also gets to know it. The camera gets to see how the schools are doing. There's feedbacks, there's surveys. There's also a little AI tutor that helps them along, never giving you the answer, but pushes you along and connects you to different learners in different countries or in different cities or in different schools that can help you. So someone who's really good in algebra will get a message saying, do you want to help João that is struggling with algebra? And yes, I do. And you get Brave points or you get your community points. And these are the kinds of things that technology will start doing. The work tools will help. The work tools will let the teachers spend more time with learners instead of, spending time doing papers and never getting to know those learners, never getting to inspire those learners. And this is what's exciting. But it needs parents to tell schools, listen, why don't you have this? It needs cameras to tell schools, we can give you this. It needs schools to be open-minded and try it. Every time we get to a school, 50% of teachers automatically want us. Within 3 months, it's over 80% that are using it. So it does take a little bit of commitment, but it does get going. Companies need to get involved in education because you're the guys employing these people. So you might as well start telling them, what skills do you need? What do you want? So we need companies getting involved. Tertiary education needs to get involved earlier. We can't wait until, learners go for another 3 to 4 years to a university, etc. For some courses that are changing yearly, monthly. If you go there to learn computer science nowadays, Moore's law says it changes every 2 years. Today, it's probably changing every 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, weekly, daily. Okay, we need people to have experiences and learn that way. So those are the things we're busy doing. I had 18 minutes, but this started at 20 minutes, so I was pushing it. But, education won't solve itself. It needs brave people. It needs people like you. It needs people asking for more for your children, for your future employees, for your citizens, for everybody. Because only that way will we get what we deserve, which is, happier learners, more engaged citizens, and obviously people that can use their talents for the good. So thank you very, very much for listening to me. It's now definitely gone red and saying get off here. Okay. But thank you very much. If you ever have ideas or you've got synergies or you want us to speak to somebody, please reach out because we need help. This doesn't happen all by itself. But, you know, for all those brave parents that have also, you know, believed in us now, which is over 2,000, thank you very much. And for the cameras that are coming on board, thank you also very much. And thank you guys for being here inside this place when you got weather like that. Amazing. Okay, thank you.